Good afternoon to Puan Haji and my friends. My name is Popedi, and together with my friend Boon from Group 4, we'll be presenting on the current issues in mathematics curriculum based on TIMSS, PISA, and HOTS performance. Let me give you a brief intro on mathematics curriculum in Malaysia. Mathematics is a very important subject all over the world, and it is taught at all institutions such as the garden, primary and secondary schools, colleges and universities. Mathematics curriculum in Malaysia has undergone various reforms, which is from KBSR to KSSR. The objective of this reformation is to achieve the goals towards the formation of industrialized countries. As I mentioned just now, our mathematics curriculum has undergone reformation from KBSR to KSSR. Let's look at the differences between these two syllabus. So in KBSR, it has three main areas, which is communication, man and his environment, self-development of the individual. It also emphasizes on 3M, which are reading, writing, and counting. Whereas for KSSR, it has six main areas: communication, spiritual, attitude and values, humanitarian, physical and aesthetical development, science and technology. For KSSR, it emphasizes on 4M, which are reading, writing, counting, and one more is reasoning. So the question now is, why there's a need of reformation? As you can see from the picture below, KBSR is more straightforward, more straightforward as it involves the basic, which are reading, writing, and counting. Whereas for KSSR, it is more complicated as it involves reasoning skills in students where they need to learn how to apply what they have learned in their daily lives. So as I mentioned earlier just now, our goal is to develop individuals who are able to compete globally and meet the challenges of the 21st century, and also to become the top third of countries in TIMSS and PISA according to the Malaysia Education Blueprint 2013 to 2025. The question is, are we really going towards it? Is our mathematics curriculum in our school implemented effective in order to achieve the goals? And how are we going to measure all this? Therefore, our Ministry of Education has participated in international level assessment such as TIMSS and PISA in order to measure the effectiveness of education in our country. Let's look at what are TIMSS and PISA. So TIMSS is also known as the Trends in International Mathematics and Science Study. It provides reliable and timely trend data on the mathematics and science achievement of US students as compared to that of students in other countries. It is open only for grade 4 and grade 8 students, and it is held every 4 years. So Malaysia has been participating in TIMSS since the year of 1999, but only grade 8 students were involved. So now let's look at PISA. For PISA, it is known as the Program for International Students Assessment. It helps in education reforms by learning the strength of other countries. It is open only for 50 years old students, and it is held every 3 years. PISA tests test students' skills on reading, mathematics, and science. For Malaysia, we have started participating in the year of 2012. Since Malaysia is participating both TIMSS and PISA, let's see our students' performance in these two assessments. Let's look at the results of TIMSS first. So between TIMSS 1999 and 2011, our mathematics and science score dropped more than any other country. We also scored below the international average in TIMSS 2011. However, in TIMSS 2015, Malaysia has shown improvement over previous result, but it was still unsatisfactory. So this result showed that our students are weak in reasoning skills. They are having difficulty in applying existing knowledge to non-routine and more complex problems. Now let's look at PISA results. Malaysia's performance in PISA also did not show much improvement. Malaysia was ranked 52nd out of 65 in mathematics and 39 out of 44 in problem solving, which is quite behind. So Malaysia students scored 421 in mathematics and 422 in problem solving, but the OECD average is 511 and 500. It shows that our performance is still unsatisfactory. Through PISA, we have identified our students failed to answer questions that require to make interpretations, reflections, and real-life assessments. We also noticed that mathematical problems with long sentences are problematic and often left untouched by students. They feel overwhelmed to understand the questions so much that they do not want to answer the questions. So after looking at the performance of our students in TIMSS and also PISA, let's look at the problems in a classroom. So our students seems to be not really interested when confronted with problems they have never encountered before. They will usually wait for teachers' instructions and answer to solve any problems. This shows that our students are lacking in self-confidence and afraid when dealing with problem solving. So what makes them afraid of problem-solving questions? In the current education, teachers emphasize more on theoretical knowledge and intellectual growth rather than creative development. Students are taught what the system says they need to know rather than what is relevant and of concern to them. This makes our students just follow the steps given to solve the problems and apply to another problem without really understanding the real meaning behind the process. These are the reasons why our students perform below average in both PISA and TIMSS because they are lacking mathematical creativity as they do not have a deep understanding of mathematical concepts and procedures. That's all from me about TIMSS and PISA issues. I will pass the time to my friend Lo.
All right, thank you, my friends Ho. So I'm Lo. I would like to continue my topic, which is the hot order thinking skill. All right, this hot order thinking skill is very important reason that we hasn't reached a very good result in our PISA and TIMSS. So this is the high order thinking skill. Is the stand for HOTS. These words, these terms. All right. So in the 21st century learning skills, we very emphasize the critical thinking of the student. This critical thinking, basically, we can based on the Bloom's taxonomy. So this Bloom taxonomy has been cut to the six pieces. These six pieces, which is the we can categorize the lowest order thinking, lowest order thinking areas, which is the remember, understand, and apply. So when a student receive the or he know how to apply, okay, then he need to proceed on the second stage. We can say that it's the analyze, evaluate, and the creating. So with the creating, which is we know there is the very less of the student that can be done in our classroom or in every school. So this is the last part and the most effort part for the teachers to put a lot of effort to encouraging students to create their own piecework. All right. So this is the very important part lah. So as we know, the lowest part we know that there is the remembering, understanding, and applying. So when the student has been reached these three elements, these three skills, that will be categorized that this student in he or she knows the knowledge that conveyed by the teachers, but he still or she not able to analyze what is the situation. So, and he or she doesn't know that next time when the situation come as differently, so how to react with this situation. All right. So in the last part, the creating is more important. So the very last of the student will be achieve this part. This is the highest of this Bloom taxonomy, which is the most important for the student to have the more critical thinking in every situations. All right. So this is the Bloom taxonomy. Okay. This is the sixth level of the cognitive process, which is we apply in our hot order thinking skills. All right. So we would like to continue. Okay. Okay, so as we know, this HOTS performance is basically formed by three main components of curriculum, pedagogy, and assessment. That's why we have learned this all in our Maktab Pengguruan IPG. So here is the first thing, the curriculum. So the curriculum, as mentioned by my friends, before this, we are using the KPSR. So KPSR is more emphasized in 3N, whereas in curriculum in this 21st century, we are using the SSR for the all elementary primary school, which is the SJKC, SK, and Sekolah Kebangsaan Tahap 2. All right. So all of the syllabus we are using the same syllabus, uniform. They are the same syllabus. So same syllabus, which is mean we are applying the HOTS performance for all the students, but we still depends on which level, as we can see from the Bloom's taxonomy, which level of the achievement of the students that can be reached. Yeah. So for KSSR is for the primary student, and the KSSM is for all secondary schools. Yeah. So we comes to the pedagogy. We can do the pedagogy. This pedagogy is very important. Yeah. So the teachers will be using the effective approaches to try to convey the message or convey the important keywords to the student, to let the student to get the big pictures before he deeply to the knowledge. Yeah. So in 2012, the Ministry of Education also launched this I-Think program. This I-Think program is help the students to think critically. It's encouraging the students to think more deeply for them in every situation. It does not accept the current situation only. We need to know what is the consequences after this. This is the more critical thinking, which is encouraging for the this I-Think program. Oh, okay. So we come to the last part with the assessment. So in every of the performance, we have the assessment to which what kind of the level or which level of the student has been reached. So this school-based performance has been fully implemented from 2021. So this is why the UPSR it has been fully abolished from the primary school. So there is no more the one-shot assessment for them. So this school-based assessment basically is the more how to say, is the more equal. You can say that it's more nearly perfect, but not yet we know the result yet. But I think this is the better assessment for the primary student, because all the performance is not just like the UPSR, which is focusing on the one-shot performance only. So this school assessment has been evaluated from since primary 1 until primary 6, and this assessment part has been formed by the school-based performance, and the central assessment, and the psychometric assessment, and the sports of the curricular assessment. So as we know, the school assessment has been evaluated by the class teacher of the subject teacher in school, and the central assessment, as we know, we still do have the quiz of the exam, but the exam or the quiz is not the whole. It's not the whole for the student. It doesn't mean that you score very well in the examination. That means you have a very good grade in this school-based assessment, because we still do have the psychometric and the sports and the curriculum assessment. So the psychometric is used to measure the stress level, how they are going to do the time management, yeah, with all the schoolworks. All right. So this is the one of the evaluation for the current assessment also, and the sports and the curriculum assessment, such as the chess. You are very interested in chess. You are very good in basketball, futsal, or others. All right. So these sports are the curriculums, and the psychometrics is help to measure that is the balanced education for all students. Yeah. So the balance is not that means that we only focusing on the examination. So this is what the last time of the syllabus KBSR lack of the advantages. So here is the assessment for the currents now. Okay, so we go to the next. Yeah, so for the teachers, yeah, KPM. So our Ministry of Education has do a lot of the manual and a guidebook for the teachers to help them to construct a hot question or the hot situation for the student. So as we know, this environment is very important for them because when they used to this environment, only they can apply what they have learned. Yeah. So as we can see, here is the question, example question for the student. So we can see this question, this mathematic question is involve a lot of the logical thinking and the mathematical reasoning and a lot of the how to say the cycle. So how to make sure the sequence, how to make sure the situation is logical. We can see the Rasmin woke up and 20 minutes earlier than usual. Since he woke up early, the time is took in the get ready in the school delay by 6 minutes. So as we can see, in this one situation, it involves of the delaying and what time the resume has been reached the destination. So here is the involve of the logical thinking for the student to make sure that he knows what is the time, what is the destination, and what time earlier. Okay, this is the one of the example lah. All right. So we proceed to the next, which is the toolkit. This toolkit is very important for the teachers to convey the effective question for the student. Okay, when you are conducting the class, you need to convey the effective question and providing the right question for the student to see whether the student is understandable or he is not able to catch up yet. All right. So other than the effective question, the one student of one project, this of the program is very important for the student also. So in school, we very encouraging and very emphasize the student to have the hands-on work. This kind of the project will be helping, will be evaluated in their performance too. Yeah. So this is the how we say very important. Not that only depends on just one shot of the examinations. Yeah, this project such as in mathematics, in this standard 5, we have the Rumah Idamanku. So in this project, Rumah Idamanku, we do have a lot of the measurement and drafting, lakaran, melukis. So dalam proses ini, mereka akan tahu how to apply the teachers taught them in the classroom. So they know how to apply the conversion between the centimeter to millimeters and know how to use the how to say the metrics of this measurement to measure every objects that he gets in their projects. All right, this is the one of the example lah. So we come to the last part. As we know, our Ministry of Education also put a lot of efforts to construct a lot of opportunities for those students that cannot be accessed internet, especially for this pandemic. All right. So along this pandemic, we know that a lot of the inner space, such as the Sabah Sarawak and Orang Asli, they had to be accessed to the online learning. So we have the structured materials such as EDU Web TV and the Frog BEL. So the EDU TV, they can at least access to the free TV to see the tutorial of the teachers. All right. So maybe this is some helpful for the student that can be revised in any time. So this is the free for all the students, especially in Astro, has been cooperated with the KPM to have the free tutorial lesson in the Astro. Yeah, so here is the efforts from the structural materials. All right. Okay, so we come to the conclusion. So as we know, the conclusion for this TIMSS and the PISA and a high order thinking skills, which is the highly related with each other. So we need to have a very good performance is implementing the critical thinking to the students. Only we can have the better performance in the PISA and the TIMSS. So we hope in next 3 years, we can have another better result from the students. Yeah. So we cannot that this is a very significant role for the hot thinking in the process of the teaching and the learning, as it affects the student achievement and also the level of the engagement. And the last thing is the important for the teachers to use the suitable question types. As I mentioned just now, we need to use the right question to the student. We need to give the appropriate example, and the intellectual responses of this question will be given by the student if the question is the right question, and providing the appropriate example for the student. All right, so effective question is very high incorporated with the high order thinking skill, which is that we believe to be more helpful and develop the students' level of the critical thinking. So this critical thinking is a very crucial element in the classroom because it stimulates the corresponding response to the student. All right, so high order thinking skill also with very high integrated with the school syllabus, which is our Malaysia Education Development Plan from 2013 to 2025. So this is we hope our HOTS performance can be fully implemented in all elementary school. Yeah. So this is the conclusion for me in this topic. Thank you very much for our lecturers and my friends. Thank you.